What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new video, so let's get into it. So today, guys, we're going to be trying to tackle a pretty big question that's been going around the community, and that question is Warcraft a problem for StarCraft? So let's talk about it. So if you don't know this already, guys, Warcraft and StarCraft are made by the same developer, which of course is Blizzard Entertainment. The Warcraft franchise is one that has spanned over a number of years and has been pretty much one of the flagship franchises of Blizzard Entertainment. You have, of course, the Warcraft games, which spanned from Warcraft 1 all the way to Warcraft 3, and then it started World of Warcraft, which from there has spanned over a number of expansions, and it's just been continuing and continuing. StarCraft, on the other hand, spans over 2 games, and each game having some expansions, but nothing compared to what is World of Warcraft. And Warcraft, I guess you could say, as a whole. So ultimately, what I'm getting at here, guys, is that Warcraft as a whole is much bigger than StarCraft. However, StarCraft does have a very passionate fan base. World of Warcraft, I would say it's certainly bigger. You look at the numbers, World of Warcraft over the span of time has sold about 14 million copies, whereas StarCraft 1 has sold about 11 million, StarCraft 2 has sold about 6 million copies in total on PC. So in this video, I believe, guys, that Warcraft is a problem for StarCraft. And when I say that, I mean as in the future of StarCraft. So let's talk about that. So the question that's been going around is, are we going to get a Warcraft 4 or a StarCraft 3 first? Well, here's the thing, guys. I believe everything rides on this decision by Blizzard Entertainment, because there very well may be a chance that Blizzard, say they decide to make a Warcraft 4. So for those of you who don't know, that those first 3 Warcraft games that came out were real-time strategy games. And so a continuation of Warcraft would almost mean certainly that we're getting another real-time strategy Warcraft game, which would certainly rival that of StarCraft and StarCraft 2 as a whole. So what could end up happening is a number of things, guys. Number one, what could happen is Blizzard may say, listen, everyone, we are making a Warcraft 4. And this is going to be the real-time strategy game that we are going to be focusing on fully. And what will end up happening is a lot of people from at least the StarCraft community and maybe other communities as well will come to Warcraft 4 and start playing Warcraft 4 and kind of leave the StarCraft community for Warcraft 4 because it's newer. And of course, there'll be updated graphics and it'll be new. And they may very well leave StarCraft kind of on the wayside because it's a much smaller franchise than that of Warcraft. I believe that there is a place in our world for both games, for a StarCraft 3 as well as a Warcraft 4. The issue, though, that lies ahead is, does Blizzard Entertainment feel that way? And does Activision, of course, the higher-ups at Activision, do they believe that that's the case as well? Because right now, what Activision and Blizzard have both been doing is kind of cutting down on costs, whether that's on the esports side of things or if we're talking about on the production side of things. And if we look back to what's happened or recently transpired, Blizzard Entertainment canceled a first-person shooter StarCraft game, and then the earnings came out for Activision Blizzard, which of course is a publicly traded company, and Activision Blizzard announced the games that they were aggressively working on, and StarCraft was not on that list. Of course, Warcraft was on that list, and so there's a lot of speculation that they are completely leaving StarCraft behind. You can't really look too much into an earnings call. However, you do have to look at the right here and right now. What this tells me is that they are not working on a StarCraft project currently, which they were for a couple of years on a first-person shooter. They definitely have StarCraft in the back of their minds, but they are putting that on the side currently and most likely working on other things. Now, a Warcraft game could look like a World of Warcraft, another World of Warcraft expansion. It could look like a Warcraft mobile game. Who knows? But all I know is that we are talking about a massive franchise in World of Warcraft, which also includes Hearthstone. There's just a lot there that they can work with, whereas with StarCraft, they might not have as much to work with. And a real-time strategy StarCraft 3 could very well be something that's going to be replaced with a Warcraft 4. So this year at BlizzCon, we've been talking about what games are probably going to be announced there or what games to expect. And I think the overall prediction that people have right now about BlizzCon 2019 is that we are going to be getting a Diablo 4, first and foremost, because we all know what happened last year, BlizzCon 2018. Blizzard decided to announced that they were coming out with a Diablo Immortal, which was the mobile game for Diablo, and did not announce a Diablo 4, which gave Blizzard so much backlash in the long run. So my assumption and prediction is that Diablo 4 is a foregone conclusion here, that it is going to be announced at BlizzCon 2019. And we'll see a Diablo 4 and Diablo Immortal that will be a joint package, essentially, that'll be coming out at some point in probably 2020 or 2021. So if Diablo 4 is definitely going to happen, and there's speculation that Overwatch 2 is going to be announced at BlizzCon this year, I just have not seen Blizzard over the years at BlizzCon announce more than really 2 projects that are going on. I mean, they'll announce like one big game. So let's just say this year Diablo 4, and then usually what they'll do is they'll talk about maybe an expansion for whether it's StarCraft or another game. They'll announce maybe a couple of new characters, a couple of side missions like for StarCraft or something for Hearthstone. They'll add new features to their games, but a lot of times they're not announcing really more than 1 or 2 games at any given BlizzCon. So that leaves you with the question, if Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 are announced at BlizzCon, are they going to announce anything else? I would love to see them show us a slate of everything that's coming out from 2019 all the way through like 2024 or something like that, similar to what Marvel does with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They'll show us each year what's going to be coming to kind of give everyone something, sort of to give everyone something to look forward to, and they can kind of see what's all coming and see what they're fans of. So I would love to see, like, 2019 they announced that Diablo 4 is coming out in 2020. Then 2021 comes Overwatch 2. 2022 comes StarCraft 3. And then 2024 comes Warcraft 4. Something like that, where we have like a relatively good timeline of what we can expect, would absolutely be an incredible thing. I think Blizzard should absolutely do that, because if that doesn't happen and if we get a Warcraft 4, I think it's going to be a real problem for StarCraft 3 or of another addition to StarCraft to be made. As far as on the real-time strategy side, we certainly could still get a StarCraft first-person shooter, but I believe that both games can live in the same universe and coexist, but I don't know. I think it might be a little bit difficult, and maybe Blizzard might be thinking other things as well. And by no stretch of the imagination am I a Warcraft hater. I actually love Warcraft. I love the game. I love the way it's put together. StarCraft is just my favorite when it comes to the Blizzard Entertainment games. Warcraft would definitely take a very close second, but I've got to say that, you know, I just hope that both of these franchises can kind of still at this point coexist together moving forward as far as a real-time strategy standpoint. Obviously, they can go any different direction, but I would just love to see both these franchises kind of being able to coexist with one another. But ultimately, guys, we have to be the voice of StarCraft 3. We've got to be the voice of a Warcraft 4. We have to be the voice of a Diablo 4. We have to voice our opinion, guys, and let Blizzard know what it is that we want. And I sure hope all of you are here wanting all of those things, because it's a beautiful thing, guys, when we're talking about the best developers in the world here that are at Blizzard Entertainment, that have some of the best franchises of all time. I believe the best franchises ever that our world has ever seen. And I would just absolutely love for them to be able to do a Warcraft 4, a StarCraft 3, a Diablo 4. I mean, you know, continuing the franchises, continuing the legacies of these games and the lore of these games. I would just absolutely love that. And I definitely want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about this? Let's echo these games into existence. Let's make it happen. Let's go on this journey together, and let's make that happen so that Warcraft doesn't become a problem for StarCraft. Because I will tell you this, is that because Warcraft at this point is going to be a problem for StarCraft, mark my words, if they decide to kind of, do Warcraft 4 as a real-time strategy, and then they decide to kind of scratch StarCraft 3. I would love to see both of them kind of coexist together, because Blizzard as Entertainment, as we know, is the kings of the real-time strategy genre. So they, of course, could do it. I just don't know about the higher-ups at Activision, what their thought process is on this. And I just hope that the esports side of things also does not weaken, because that definitely helps out StarCraft more so than it would, of course, like a Warcraft. Warcraft, of course, would get very big probably within its esports scene if StarCraft kind of is put on the wayside. But I definitely want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about this? Is Warcraft a problem for StarCraft? Is StarCraft a problem for Warcraft? I don't think StarCraft is going to be any problem at all to Warcraft, because Warcraft is such a huge franchise. They have the Warcraft games, the World of Warcraft games, Hearthstone. I mean, the lore is there. Everything is there. The numbers are there as far as, the number of copies that they've sold. It's all there in, proof in the pudding that it is a proven franchise, and StarCraft is a proven franchise as well. But is it as strong as Warcraft, or really could it continue building for Blizzard and Activision? But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I would love to hear from all of you guys. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.